Very good morning, South Africa. Goeiemôre, Suid-Afrika. Molweni Mzansi. Salam alaikum salam. It is an absolute great privilege to be able to speak to you, to speak with you. It's altyd 'n baie groot verantwoordelikheid om op 'n platform te klim en met mense te praat. Molweni Matlabane, apai thetha nomhlanje, apai privilege to speak with you. I think when you stand up and you speak to one and more, the obligation at the evening and at the day and in the morning is to have something that you need to speak about. And I noticed Pierre and Lisa, Marius, Zaitoon, Justin, Adnan, Gerard, Hanley, my son, Andries, to all of you joining me right now, thank you very much. And from me, I can only do this, and I hope I can get one back and this from you. What a absolute massive week. Peter, Laszlo, my main man, Wade, Justin. I'm just going to go on and recognize Wade, my main man, Boland, my partner. Today is a very special day. It's a baie belangrike dag because I've had a hell of a week. You will know that I made a video last week. Ek het 'n video uitgesit laas week want ek het as 'n politikus, as 'n aktivis, as 'n besigheidspersoon het ek 'n lyn getrek. Dit was nie 'n reaksie op 'n reaksie nie. I don't make reactions. I'm a calculated man. I thought a lot this year through COVID and a long time now, where am I in the world of politics? And I let a video go because I wanted to speak about something that is very rare, it seems, these days, and that is the truth. Die waarheid. And I sat back and I put the video out, I vented a bit and I thought, yeah, I've got it off my chest, and my goodness. 14,000 views later, more than 1,000 comments and more than 800 inbox messages in these 8 days. Dit was oorweldigend. En al die opinies wat deurgekom het was ongelooflik. Al was party van dit negatief, even if some were negative. Matlabane, when you data to people, you're not always going to agree. Ons gaan nie altyd saamstem nie. Ou skryf vir my, Gerard Pool, hy sê, ek het eers 5 minute gesê, ek gaan jou nie luister nie, want toe jy sê, jy's 'n ex-MK, jy's 'n ex-ANC, jy is 'n ANC, toe wil hy nie verder luister nie, toe sê hy, maar ons luister, en toe hy die hele boodskap luister, toe stuur hy vir my 6 paragraaf brief om te sê, hy is nie my politiek nie, hy was nie, maar daar's 'n toekoms nou. Dis die oorweldigende boodskap. That was the overwhelming message, is that this country is thirsty for the truth. It is thirsty for leadership. Ons soek leierskap. Well, let's give it to them. Because we are tired of politics in its current status. Ons is moeg vir politiek. In Xhosa we always say, Matlabane, apa in omslanje, apa in Genewe. Ons is moeg. Well, if we are tired as a nation, and we are tired of indecision, and we are tired as a country of the current rubbish that we are fed, then in a democracy, which we are as this republic, we must take our country back. We must go back to what I would call fundamental basics. Ons moet reset. Hierdie land soek 'n vernuwing. Hierdie land soek 'n nuwe begin. In die afgelope 26 jaar het ons probeer. Baie mense skryf vir my, maar jy's deel van dit, jy's deel van daai. Ja, ons almal was al deel van iets wat 'n gemors was. Ons almal het al in 'n familie gesit waar daar klein ettertjies rondhardloop en ons familienaam beswadder, maar jy het hom nie doodgemaak of uitgegooi nie. Want hy dra maar nog steeds sy bloed in jou DNA, maar die klein ettertjie moet op 'n punt pakslaag gegee word. Ons land het 'n paar ettertjies wat aan mekaar gemors maak in ons familie. We have a couple of people that are always untoward in our family. En ons moet nou 'n besluit maak. Now, my fellow citizens, it's not easy for a normal citizen to just become a politician. Because politics in itself is an industry. I've been in it for 32 years. But I've not been a mainline politician, as you know. I've been an activist. I've been a part of the military wing and in intelligence. But I'm 51 years old today, and I have decided that it's time not to sit on the sideline. It is time to rise. 'n Mens kan net soveel keer kyk, dink, meer gepraat word, geredeneer word, totdat jy 'n besluit as 'n man moet neem, of as 'n vrou, dat ons eintlik is Suid-Afrikaners. Without leadership, there is no country. Yeah, we come from a very, very hard history. But that was 26 years later. How long will apartheid, the legacy of apartheid last? Well, it will last as long as we keep it alive. Ons moet dit duidelik maak. Ons sal nooit apartheid vergeet nie, maar ons gaan nie in apartheid lewe nie. We will not forget history, but we cannot live it every day. It's time to move on as the Republic of South Africa. It is time that white and black and colored and Indian and any other demographic, it is time that you think about the resetting of your attitude to build that South Africa that we dreamt about. It is clear that this is not the ANC of Nelson Mandela anymore. Dit is duidelik, dit is nie meer die ANC van Nelson Mandela nie. Dit is nie die ANC waarvoor ek beklei het nie. Dit is nie die ANC wat ek my lewe voorgegee het nie. Want die ANC wat ek voor beklei het, was nie rassig, het nie gefokus op jou religie nie, het nie gefokus op jou taal nie, dit het gefokus op jou as 'n Suid-Afrikaner, 'n Suid-Afrikaner wat glo in wet en orde, 'n Suid-Afrikaner wat skouer aan die wiel gesit het, 'n Suid-Afrikaner wat bos gevat het en plaas gemaak het. A South African that realized that we are better together than apart. A South Africa that has a constitution that is supposed to protect our human dignity, our human rights, our freedom of expression like I am doing now without prejudice. But we don't follow that dream. It has become a nightmare. Well, it's time to lead. Maybe the day of the DA is done. Maybe the time has come that parties of the past with legacies must either change their vision to suit the modern era, or they must implode, make way for a new dawn, a new generation of leadership that cannot understand the pathetic nuance of color, because my sons, my daughters, are in schools where color is irrelevant. Ons seuns en dogters sit nou op 'n skoolbank waar Jannie, Gerda, Woesie en Jared saam sit met Prakesh. En hulle eet saam. Hulle skram en 'n skram saam. Hulle lag saam. En hulle verdedig mekaar saam. My ouer garde wil dit nie laat gaan nie, meeste. So dit is ons skuld. Ons, wat in 'n ou generasie gesit het, met ideologieë van apartheid, van rasisme, ons hou dit nog lewendig. Dis nie reg nie, Suid-Afrika. Ons moet die geskiedenis onthou, maar ons moet hom los nou. South Africa must reunite. We must go find the founding principles of why we agreed on the 27th of April to move on. And prior to that, the 91 referendum of the yes or the no. Presidency is a big responsibility. To be a president of a country means that you must firstly fall in love with your country every morning. It's like being married. When it goes tough in a marriage, you've got to remember why you got married in the first place. Remember why she or he was so beautiful that you decided to stay with he or her for the rest of your life. We must re-engage our marriage vows to the country that we were born in. Ons moet weer verlief raak op ons republiek. Ons moet weer kyk na die see en die strande van Melkbosstrand. Daai ettermooi lig in die Karoo. Die berge van die Drakensberg. Die Oranje rivier se donder as hy reis. Daai hittegolf oor Umhlanga. Daai grys op en af valleie in die Laagveld. Die reuk van die Bosveld, en as jy daar kan sit, kan jy die sterre sien. En die oorweldigende bome in Knysna. We need to fall in love with our country. But to certain people, they don't want us to be united. The politicians today want us apart. They want to bring race into this. We must then kick them out. They must get out if they cannot unite. It's not just about being a president. It is about being a leader. It is about being understanding. It is about being on the ground. That's absent today. Hulle gooi klip, hulle brand, hulle moorie in die Weskaap. Daar's niemand wat inry en op 'n bakkie staan en op 'n luidspreker sê hou op nie. Ons los dit vir die polisie. We are leaving law and order to the police, and then you say, but law and order must be given to the police. No, the result of the police having to stand in the street and shoot people is politics. It's not policing. The police react to the disorder created by the lack of leadership. And this is wrong. Because our politicians are absent in the street. And that goes for all the political parties. And I am not generalizing, and if you're taking this as generalization, then I absolutely beg to double check your IQ. Jy sien, jy kan hom toets, né? Jy prop hom in. Because I am not generalizing, I'm saying the majority of our current politicians that sit in their benches, that get a great salary, stupendous cars. Jy moet jou gat lig. You must get out of your house and get into the street and go talk to your constituents, be it ANC, DA, EFF met jou drommetjies. En jy moet nou vir jou mense gaan sê, klim in jou huis, dissipline, wet en orde. Go talk to your people. Matlabane, apa ye politician, nomslamje, apa ugonso, apa uteta, comrades, apa utoba moyo. And if you cannot do that, then you're not a leader. If your constituents do not listen to you, then why are you there? Then you are not their leader. A leader is someone that can walk into the most terrible riot, the most terrible protest, and tell those enough now is enough. You can't protest against the lack of education and burn a school. You cannot complain about the fact that you don't have housing and burn houses. Jy kan nie vra vir land om meer spasie te hê en dan brand jy tyres in 'n pad nie. You can't protest against potholes and then burn the street where there's potholes. You can't burn the train because the train was delayed, because tomorrow there's no train. It's an attitude. It's a lack of education. But more than that, it is a lack of leadership. Meneer Steenhuisen, Julius, Commander-in-Chief of bloody what? EFF. And my own party. I don't want to mention die klein chihuahuaatjies wat maar aan die kant sit soos Cope en die IFP en ja, die ou mense in die Vryheidsfront leierskap bank het, julle het dit verloor. It's time for a new beginning. Dis tyd. Dis tyd dat ons geskiedenis terugsit en ons begin praat oor die justisie. Want julle gaan nie tronk toe nie. The NPA and the Ministry of Justice must wake up, or we will wake you up. We will start appointing our own prosecutors. We will be using the courts as our last resolve then. We have a great judge, Mogoeng, an honorable man who will keep justice alive as long as we can. So let's use that court. Al maak ons die hofsale vol Suid-Afrika. Ons het die reg om land lief te hê. But what's going on in our streets today about protests, burning and rebellion is not the country that I am in love with. The normal citizen is sitting on a farm, they're sitting in a home, yes, they're sitting in an informal settlement in a shack, and they fear the same. Hulle het self hulle eie mense wat bang is. Then we must rise. We should not be scared of our own citizens. If you are trained in combat, if you were trained in the army, if you were trained in the police, you better get ready, because it is your national service that's important. Join a neighborhood watch, join a CPF, join patrollers, assist security companies, volunteer as reservists. It's a call to stand up against anarchy, against lawlessness and disrespect of the Republic. There's a word that comes up. It's called treason. When you shoot a police officer, it should not be murder. It should be treason. As jy 'n polisieman doodskiet, moet jy aangekla word nie net van moord, maar van verraad. Dit beteken nie 'n polisieman of 'n polisieoffisier se lewe is minder of meer werd nie. Dit is as jy 'n polisieman is jy daar om wet en orde in die konstitusie te beskerm, so as jy geskiet word, het jy doodgegaan in die lyn om hierdie land se wet en orde te bou. Jy moet aangekla word van verraad en ek wil hê almal moet my ondersteun. Ek is jammer om te sê dat ons vandag referendum toe moet gaan en ons vra of die doodstraf moet terugkom. Ek wil my verstout om te sê die doodstraf sal terugkom. En dit is debatteerbaar. It's like abortion. There must be a right of life of choice. We are currently in COVID. We are being told that COVID and the infections of COVID are rising, but we see no counteraction. We are still in something called level 3. Well, level 3, South Africa is being half pregnant. And everybody who knows biology, you cannot be half pregnant. You are either pregnant or you are not. Jy's of swanger of jy's nie. We need leadership to take an effective decision between the economic existence of this country or the death by a virus that is fearless. This is not an easy decision. But I can tell you today, if you are like me, that every night goes out into the ground, yes, as an activist, there is no lockdown. There is no lockdown. There's no enforcement of masks. We have surrendered. Well, if so, then open up. Those that will get it, will get it. Daai wat gaan kry, gaan kry. We must just be prepared. But you cannot keep people in limbo. We are in limbo, which means we have no effective leadership. Been asked about BEE. BEE was a great concept, like communism. Great on paper, absolutely bad in implementation. For many of you, I don't know it. You don't know it. But I was for a long time on the management of the South African Springbok under-21 rugby team that won a World Cup in 2005. Yeah, was somebody Bokke. And it was very clear that there was transformation issues. I was part of that. And I told them, omdat jy 'n ander kleurige transformation mannetjie is, beteken dit nie All Black gaan vir jou sagter skram nie. Hy gaan vir jou etter. Is transformation good? Yes, with result. Is BEE necessary? Yes, it is, but with result. Is land taken away without compensation an ideology that is good? Yes, because then everybody can get a piece of land, but what are you going to do with it? Because just owning land does not add value to the nation. But owning land, working this land is better. So ek wil 'n rugby principle terugbring oor hierdie land issue. Use it or lose it. Gebruik het of verloor het. That's a better law. South Africans, we're sitting now with another 70 billion loan from the IMF. We are again in debt. We are currently in a debt fiscus, and if this country was a PTY Limited, SA PTY Limited, then we have to critically look at how this company is doing. Because South Africa is like a company. South Africa is a maatskappy. We've got a chairman of the board, the president. We've got directors on the board, which is our cabinet. And we've got shareholders of that company called citizens. We have profit and loss. We just call it in the country our GDP. So we are bloody bankrupt. Ja? Hierdie land is bankrot. Jy moet nou regtig vir my luister. As Suid-Afrika Pty Limited maatskappy was, dan moet ons bloody likwideer, my broer. Ons moet in business rescue ingaan, nie as SAL nie, maar as 'n land. Jy sien, ek is ook 'n ekonoom. Julle moet begin wakker skrik, Suid-Afrika. Ons inkomste is minder as ons koste. We are not getting enough income towards our expenditure, which means then, according to normal process, if your liabilities exceed your expenses, you cannot trade. So we need an audit. We need an audit everywhere. We need a municipal, political, provincial audit by society. We need to appoint a citizens audit, not your internal kak. Sorry. And then we need to audit you. Because maybe in that audit process we'll find that there is not necessary for such expenditure. So we need a citizens audit, South Africa. And that's what we must demand. We must go back to law and order. We must get a judiciary that prosecutes. We must make a decision on COVID. Are we in or are we out? We must increase intertrade. We must assist the farmers. Ons moet die boere help. You can give them backing like every other country gives a farmer a discount or a docket or a voucher for Kersfees, man. Implements massive subsidies. Because farmers are not just fighting you, they're fighting drought, they're fighting nature. And this is the people that give us food and potentially can export so that we can get more income. Denel, SAA, al hierdie instansies, julle moet bly regkom. As julle nie regkom nie, dan gaan ons kom en ons gaan julle fire. En dan gaan ons mense terugbring wat die IP het, want hulle sit op hierdie oomblik en hulle vang vis, want ons het hulle weggejaag. Ons moet hulle terugbring, ons is nie bang nie. Ons het foute gemaak. En vir daai foute wil ek persoonlik om verskoning vra. I want to apologize for these mistakes. In conclusion, this republic needs to go back to basics. This republic must live the words of this constitution and not just speak about it. This country must stop stealing. This country must prosecute thieves. This country needs an audit. This country needs a reset to value. Want ons het die Here, ons God, uit ons skole gehaal. Ons het die Here, ons God, uit ons gemeenskap uitgehaal. En ons die Here, ons God, uit ons mense uitgehaal. Het is tyd dat ons die Here, ons God terugbring. Maak nie saak wie jy is nie. We have religion. South Africans, you can't be lost as a Christian. You've got a Bible. The Jews cannot be lost because they've got the Torah. And the Muslims cannot be lost because you've got the Holy Quran. The ANC cannot be lost because you've got the Freedom Charter. And the South Africans can't be lost because you've got the Constitution. So South Africans, go back to basics and read your rights. Get back to religion, get back to ethics. Kom ons vergeet van die verlede. Kom ons skryf dit nie af nie, maar kom ons lewe nie daai elke dag nie. Tri, Kara, Treka. That is our national emblem. It means unity in diversity. Eenheid in diversiteit. Apa Simonye. A lot of love for me today, a lot of respect. Send your messages. Share this video. Everybody that's seen this, please give me a wave. Just press quickly a love, a like, no matter if you differ with me. I am standing up as a leader. And if it takes us to rise, then so be it. No matter who we are. It's a time for a new dawn. It's time for a new politics. It's time for a new South Africa. Kyk mooi na julleself. May Allah's greatest blessings be upon you. Shukran for your time. Baie dankie vir jou tyd. Siyabulela. Inkosi. Kalibuga. Tot ziens, Zuid-Afrika.